You know, I think it's really deleterious that throughout our lives, we're not really taught that we're the answer. I mean, think about it. Throughout our lives, from a very early age, we're taught that somebody else has the answer for us, that the answer is always in a book, that the teacher always has the answer, that our parents always have the answer, that someone else knows better, and something is always out of reach, and so you always have to go to something else in order to get the facts, to get the truth. And to a large extent, that's true because that's how we learn. But there's also something that we forget, and that is that our experience is the greatest teacher we will ever have, because our experience formulates how we perceive truth. I truly believe that there is so much within us that we've rarely been taught to access. Whenever we approach an obstacle or whenever we approach quote-unquote limitation, we utilize those things at the point in which we stop, or at the point in which we say, okay, I've reached the end, or the point that we say, this is my limit. I believe that it's those moments where we confront our obstacles, or that we experience those quote-unquote limitations, that are the moments that we're actually just beginning. Those are the moments where we don't say, okay, I'm going to just crumble here, I'm done. Those are the moments that we say, there's an opportunity in this moment, in this experience, whatever it is, to find how I creatively now allow these circumstances to work in my favor. How do I overcome them? What creative genius lives within me that I can now turn this quote-unquote lemon into something that becomes my artistic creation, or becomes the battery to me doing something fantastic? I think one of the reasons why I love teaching acting is because I get to be around people that aren't hiding behind a mask. And I know you think, well, that's a paradox, right? Because aren't actors acting? And I think it's just the opposite. I think one of the most amazing and magical things about acting is it actually does the opposite of what it's called. I feel like acting really takes the mask off. It gives people, artists, actors, an environment where they can be who they are under the given circumstances, and it doesn't have to be so monitored. It doesn't have to be so neat and clean and tidy and perfect. It can just be human, without having to just bow down to social norms. It really becomes about the human existence and how people try to overcome obstacles, how people try to overcome suffering, how people deal with circumstances when circumstances are getting in the way. I get to see people struggle in the most beautiful way. I get to see people succeed in the most beautiful way. I get to see people's hearts and souls and love and anger and frustrations and joy. I get to see the full color wheel of the human condition without a pretty little filter on it, where that filter tries to convince us, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be. No, acting doesn't say this is the way it's supposed to be. Acting says this is the way it is. This is what humans go through. This is what I go through in relation to these given circumstances that a writer has given us. It takes the mask off and really calls for the actor to show up in all their grit and glory without apology, to say, this is me. This is who I am, and I'm willing to live as time, space stops in this moment in time, trying to pursue a need in relationship to another in this specific environment, and see what happens moment to unknown moment. And to really be in a place of that vibratory life is pretty remarkable. It's pretty beautiful, and it is pretty magical.